Mira was very small. She was smaller than most aliens on her planet. While others were tall and strong, Mira was tiny and quiet. Her skin was pale blue, and her big eyes always looked a little sad. In a world where power and size mattered, Mira felt like she did not belong. She lived in a big city on a faraway planet. The city was full of tall buildings, shining lights, and busy people from many different planets. Everyone was always rushing somewhere. Mira walked slowly, trying not to be noticed. She wished she could be like the others, strong and brave. But she was neither. Her species was known for being fierce warriors. They were proud and often looked down on smaller, weaker creatures. Mira's family had once been proud too, but because Mira was different, they stopped talking to her. She was alone, every day. Mira woke up early in her small room. The window showed the stars, far away and bright. She dreamed of flying through space, meeting new friends, and being accepted. But when she went outside, no one wanted to play or talk with her. They thought she was too small to matter. One morning, Mira sat by the window, watching ships land and take off from the spaceport near her home. The big ships were noisy and bright. They carried people from many worlds, each with stories and secrets. Mira wished she could travel on one of those ships, to find a place where she was not judged for being tiny. Her hands trembled as she held a small stone she found long ago on a distant moon. It was smooth and warm, a reminder of a time when she felt happy. But now, happiness was hard to find. The other aliens called her names behind her back and sometimes ignored her when she tried to speak. "Why am I so small?" Mira whispered to the stone. "Why do they not want me?" No answer came. Only the soft hum of the city outside. Mira's heart felt heavy. She stood up and looked in the mirror. Her reflection was tiny and fragile. But she wished to be brave like the heroes in the stories her mother once told her. She remembered a story about a small bird that saved an entire city. The bird was not big or strong, but it never gave up. Mira wanted to be like that bird, small, yes, but important. Later that day, Mira walked to the market. The market was crowded with aliens of all sizes and colors. Some were tall and powerful, others short and loud. Mira tried to stay hidden, but she could not help looking around, hoping someone would smile at her. She stopped near a stall selling bright fruits from another world. The colors were beautiful, red, orange, and purple, but Mira felt too shy to buy anything. As she reached for a small fruit on a high shelf, her tiny hands could not reach. "It need help," a voice said. Mira turned to see a human standing nearby. He was about her age, with brown hair and kind eyes. His name was Sam. Unlike many others, Sam did not look at Mira with surprise or fear. Instead, he smiled gently. "I can get it for you," Sam said, and easily lifted the fruit down for her. "Thank you," Mira whispered. She felt warmth inside, a feeling she had not known in a long time. Sam looked at Mira carefully. "You look like you don't come here often," he said. "I don't," Mira answered. "People don't like me. I am too small." Sam shook his head. "I don't think size matters. What matters is what's inside." Mira wanted to believe him. For the first time, she felt a small hope growing in her chest. They talked for a few minutes. Sam told her about his travels, the planets he had seen, and the friends he had made. Mira listened, fascinated. No one had ever shared stories with her like this before. As the sun began to set, the market lights glowed softly. Mira knew she had to go home, but she did not want to leave this kind stranger. "Maybe I will see you again?" Sam asked. Mira nodded, a shy smile on her lips. "I hope so." That night, Mira lay in bed, thinking about the day. For the first time, she did not feel so alone. She thought about Sam's words, that size does not matter. Maybe she could be important after all. Outside, the stars shone bright, like tiny diamonds on black velvet. Mira looked at them and made a silent promise. "I will find my place," she said softly. "I will be strong in my own way." The night was quiet, but Mira's heart was loud with new hope. She did not know what the future held, but she knew one thing. She was not invisible. Someone cared, and that was the start of a new journey. The next morning, Mira woke up feeling lighter than she had in a long time. The stars outside her window still sparkled, but inside her heart, a small flame of hope was growing. She thought about Sam, the kind human who helped her reach a fruit. At the market, for the first time, she believed maybe, just maybe, someone could see her for who she really was. Mira dressed carefully in her favorite light blue tunic. It was simple, but it made her feel a little braver. Today, she decided she would try to be less invisible. She stepped out of her small room and walked through the busy streets of the city. The tall buildings reached high into the sky, their glass walls reflecting the morning sun. Aliens of all shapes and sizes hurried past her, some chatting loudly, others rushing with serious faces. Mira kept her head down, but this time she looked around more, hoping to find something new. The market was already alive with noise and colors. Bright stalls sold food, tools, and strange gadgets from distant worlds. The air smelled of spices, fresh fruit, and metal. Mira's eyes caught the colors of a stall decorated with glowing crystals. She walked closer, fascinated. Suddenly, she heard a voice behind her. "Hey, Mira, wait up!" She turned to see Sam running toward her. His brown hair was a little messy, and his smile was wide and warm. "I thought I might find you here," he said. Mira's cheeks flushed. "You did?" Sam nodded. "Yeah, I wanted to ask if you want to come with me today. I'm going to visit a place not many people know about, a quiet garden where the plants glow at night." Mira blinked in surprise. "A garden? Here?" Sam laughed softly. "Yes, it's hidden away on the edge of the city. It's a nice place to rest, away from all the noise." Mira hesitated for a moment. It was unusual for someone to invite her somewhere. Usually, she was ignored or pushed aside. But Sam seemed genuine, so she nodded. "Okay," she said softly. They walked together through the crowded streets, side by side. Mira noticed that Sam did not act like other people. He did not stare at her or whisper behind his hand. Instead, he talked about simple things, the color of the sky, the taste of his favorite food, the stars they might see at night when they reached the edge of the city. The tall buildings gave way to soft hills covered with strange plants. The garden was surrounded by clear glass walls that shimmered in the sunlight. Inside, colorful flowers bloomed, and strange glowing plants hung from trees like lanterns. Mira's eyes grew wide. She had never seen anything like this. The soft light made the garden feel magical. "This place is beautiful," Mira said, her voice full of wonder. Sam smiled. "I come here when I need to think. It's quiet, and no one bothers you." They walked deeper into the garden, past bushes that glowed with blue light and flowers that seemed to hum softly. Mira felt a calm she had never known before. For the first time, she didn't feel like the tiny alien no one wanted. Here, she felt safe. After a while, Sam sat down on a smooth rock near a small pond. The water was clear and reflected the glowing plants around it. "Do you want to tell me more about your home?" Sam asked. Mira looked down at her hands. "My world is very different," she said slowly. "Most of my people are strong and tall. They respect power and size, but I am small. I cannot fight or defend myself like they can. Because of that, I am alone." Sam nodded. "That sounds hard." "It is," Mira admitted. "I wish I could be brave and strong like others, but I don't know if I ever will be." Sam looked at her carefully. "You don't have to be like others to be strong. Sometimes being kind or brave in a different way is even better." Mira thought about that. Could she be brave even if she was small? Could kindness be a kind of strength? Suddenly, a soft breeze blew through the garden, carrying the scent of glowing flowers. Mira closed her eyes and took a deep breath. The feeling was peaceful and warm. "Thank you for bringing me here," she said quietly. Sam smiled. "I'm glad you came." For the next few hours, they talked about many things, their dreams, their fears, and their favorite stories. Sam told Mira about humans who traveled the stars, making friends with many kinds of aliens. Mira shared stories of her family, the battles they fought, and the loneliness she felt. As the sun began to set, the glowing planets lit up brighter, casting a soft light all around. Mira and Sam sat close together, watching the colors change in the sky. "Do you think I could ever find a place where I belong?" Mira asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Sam looked at her with kindness in his eyes. "I believe you already have. Sometimes, the people who feel alone just need someone to see them." Mira smiled for the first time in a long while. She felt hope blossoming inside her, like the glowing flowers around them. When the stars appeared in the sky, they left the garden and walked back toward the city. The streets were quieter now, but Mira's heart was full. "Will you come with me again?" Mira asked softly. Sam nodded. "Of course, we'll find more places like this, quiet, special places where you can be yourself." Mira looked up at the stars. For the first time, she did not feel small or alone. She felt like maybe, just maybe, she was part of something bigger, a story of friendship, hope, and love. And her journey had only just begun. Days passed after that first visit to the glowing garden, and Mira found herself looking forward to every moment she could spend with Sam. Each time they met, her heart felt lighter, and her confidence grew just a little bit more. Sam's kindness was like a warm light in the dark, guiding her through the loneliness she had lived with for so long. One evening, after the city lights had dimmed, and the stars shone brightly overhead, Sam invited Mira to a quiet place he wanted to show her. It was a small park on a rooftop, hidden high above the noisy streets. The park was peaceful, filled with soft grass and tiny glowing flowers that flickered like fireflies. "Look at the stars," Sam said softly, pointing to the sky. Mira followed his finger. The stars sparkled like diamonds, and a bright blue planet hung low on the horizon. The sight made her heart swell with wonder. "This is one of my favorite places," Sam said. "I come here when I want to think. It helps me remember who I am and what is important." Mira sat down beside him on the soft grass, feeling the cool night air around her. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence was comfortable, full of quiet understanding. Then Sam turned to her and said, "You know, Mira, I want to know everything about you, your dreams, your fears, the things you keep inside." Mira looked at him, surprised and a little nervous. No one had ever asked her to share so much before. But with Sam, she felt safe. She took a deep breath and began to speak. "My people believe that strength comes from size and power," Mira said quietly. "But I am small. When I was young, my family said I was weak and would never be important. I tried to change, but no matter what I did, I was always different. So I stopped trying." Sam listened closely, his eyes never leaving hers. "That must have been very hard." "It was," Mira admitted. "I felt alone. I thought no one would ever care about me. But you are not alone anymore," Sam said gently. "You have me." Mira's eyes filled with tears, but they were tears of hope. She had dreamed of this for so long, someone who would see her, not just as small or weak, but as a person. She looked at Sam and smiled. "Thank you." Sam smiled back, his hand reaching out to gently touch hers. The touch was warm and reassuring. They sat together under the stars, sharing stories of their worlds. Mira told Sam about the great battles her people had fought, and the heroes who shaped their history. Sam shared stories of human explorers, brave men and women who traveled to the farthest corners of space, meeting new friends and learning new ways of life. As they talked, Mira felt something changing inside her. The pain of loneliness was still there, but it was softer now. It was replaced by something new. Courage, Sam stood up and helped Mira to her feet. "Come," he said. "I want to show you something else." He led her to the edge of the rooftop, where a small telescope was pointed toward the stars. "Look through this," Sam said, handing Mira the eyepiece. Mira looked through the telescope and gasped. The view was breathtaking. She saw distant planets, glowing nebulae, and shining stars, all sparkling in the vast darkness of space. "This is your home, Mira," Sam said softly. "Not just your planet, but all the stars and worlds waiting to be explored. You belong to this universe." Mira's heart swelled. for the first time. She felt a deep connection to the stars she had always dreamed of reaching. "Thank you for showing me this," Mira said. "I want to be brave like the explorers you told me about. You already are," Sam said with a smile. "Being brave doesn't mean you have to be big or strong. It means having the courage to be yourself, even when it's hard." Mira nodded, feeling the truth of his words. She knew her journey would not be easy, but with Sam by her side, she believed she could face anything. As the night grew colder, Sam wrapped a light jacket around Mira's shoulders. She felt safe and warm. "Will you come with me to more places like this?" Mira asked. "Always." Sam promised. Before they left the rooftop, Mira looked once more at the stars. The sky was full of endless possibilities, and for the first time, she felt ready to reach for them. Their friendship was growing stronger, built on trust and understanding. Mira knew there would be challenges ahead, but with Sam's support, she was no longer afraid to face them, together, under the starlight. A new chapter of Mira's life began, one filled with hope, courage, and the promise of a future where she was loved just as she was. Mira's days began to change. She no longer hid in the shadows of the busy city. Instead, she walked with a little more confidence, knowing that Sam was there to support her. The glowing garden and the rooftop under the stars became special, places where she could be herself, small but strong in her own way. But not everyone was happy about Mira's new friendship. News traveled fast among her people. Some aliens whispered behind her back. They saw Sam, a human, as a stranger, someone who could not be trusted. Many believed that Mira should stay away from humans, that they were different and could bring trouble. One afternoon, as Mira and Sam walked through the market, they noticed the change. People who once ignored Mira now looked at her with suspicion. Some muttered low words as they passed by. Mira felt the cold sting of their judgment. "Maybe they are right," Mira said quietly as they sat down on a bench near the spaceport. "Maybe I don't belong anywhere." Sam shook his head, his eyes full of determination. "Don't listen to them. You belong wherever you choose to be." Mira looked at him, doubt still in her eyes. "But they are my people. They have always been hard on me. Now, they say I am a traitor." Sam reached out and took her hand. "You are not a traitor. You are brave. You are kind. And you have a heart that sees beyond fear and hate." Mira wanted to believe him, but the weight of rejection felt heavy. That night, she lay awake, wondering if she could ever find acceptance. The next day, things got worse. A group of Mira's own species confronted her at the market. They spoke harsh words, warning her to stay away from Sam. "Why do you waste time with a human?" One said. "You do not belong with them." Mira's heart pounded, but she stood tall, trying to be brave. "I am not afraid," she said softly. "Sam is my friend." The group laughed and walked away, but their words left a deep mark. When Mira told Sam what happened, he was angry, not at her, but at the unfairness of it all. "We will not let them hurt you," Sam promised. The days that followed were hard. Mira sometimes wanted to hide again, to be invisible like before. But each time she thought about giving up, Sam was there with a smile, reminding her of her courage. One evening, a storm rolled over the city, thunder rumbled, and bright flashes of lightning lit the sky. Mira and Sam took shelter in a small cafe near the spaceport. The place was warm and full of quiet people, some reading, some talking softly. Sam looked at Mira and said, "You are stronger than you think. Size does not decide who we are. It is our heart and actions." Mira smiled. Weakly, "I want to believe that. I really do." Suddenly, the cafe door opened, and a tall alien stepped inside. His eyes locked on Mira, and the room seemed to grow colder. "You should not be with humans," the alien said, his voice low but firm. "You are risking everything." Mira felt fear but stood her ground. "I am not risking anything. I am finding a friend." Sam stood beside her, calm but ready. "We are stronger together. You cannot scare us with words." The alien's eyes narrowed, but he said nothing more. After a tense moment, he left the cafe. Mira's hands trembled, but Sam squeezed them gently. "See, Sam said softly. No matter what they say, you have a place. With me. Mira nodded, feeling a new strength growing inside her. She knew the road ahead would not be easy. There would be doubts, whispers, and challenges. But she also knew she was not alone. The next morning, Mira decided to visit the glowing garden. Again, she wanted to feel the peace it gave her. Sam went with her, and together they walked through the glowing plants. This place reminds me to keep going, Mira said. Even when things are hard, Sam smiled, and I will be here every step of the way. In the days that followed, more people began to notice Mira's courage. Some started to speak kindly to her. They saw how she faced her fears and how Sam stood by her side. Slowly, the cold whispers began to fade. Mira learned that being different was not a weakness. It was a gift. She was small, yes, but she had a heart that could change minds and open doors. One evening, as the city lights twinkled below, Mira and Sam stood on the rooftop garden. The stars above seemed brighter than ever. Thank you for believing in me, Mira said. Sam took her hand and smiled. You never needed me to believe. You just needed to believe in yourself under the vast sky. To friends, different but united, found strength in each other. And in that strength, Mira discovered the courage to face whatever came next. Mira woke up feeling lighter than she had in many weeks. The city outside her window buzzed with the usual sound: ships landing, people talking, machines humming, but inside her heart, a quiet peace was growing. She thought about Sam and the rooftop garden, the glowing plants, and the stars shining far above. For the first time, she truly believed she could face the future, no matter what challenges might come. That morning, Mira decided to visit the spaceport. She had heard about a new ship arriving from a distant world, carrying people and goods from a place no one on her planet had ever seen before. She wanted to see the ship up close, to dream about the stars and the worlds beyond. When she arrived, the crowd around the landing platform was thick. Tall aliens, humans, and many others stood side by side, eager to see the new arrivals. Mira felt small among the many, but she held her head high. Suddenly, she felt a familiar hand on her shoulder. It was Sam. Ready? He asked with a smile. Mira nodded. Yes, I want to see everything. Together, they moved closer to the ship. It was large and shining, with smooth curves and bright lights. The metal glowed softly under the planets. Twin suns. As the ship's hatch opened, a group of aliens stepped out, carrying packages and tools. One of the newcomers, a tall alien with golden skin, noticed Mira and smiled warmly. Hello, the alien said. I am Mira. Welcome to our world. Mira smiled back. Thank you. I'm Mira. Mira's eyes sparkled with kindness. You are small but strong. I see that. Mira felt a warmth inside her. For so long, she had hidden her size, but here was someone who saw her for who she truly was. Mira invited Mira and Sam to visit her ship. Inside, the walls were filled with strange machines and glowing screens. Mira's eyes widened in wonder. We travel many worlds, Mira explained. We learn, share, and help. Size does not matter. Heart and courage do. Mira nodded, her hope growing stronger. She realized that the universe was much bigger than her fears and doubts. After the visit, Mira and Sam walked back toward the city. The streets were quieter now, the stars beginning to shine. Suddenly, Mira stopped. She felt a soft vibration in her pocket. It was the small stone she had kept for years, the one she always held when she felt alone. She pulled it out and looked closely. It glowed faintly, as if alive. Do you feel that? Mira asked Sam. Sam took the stone gently. It's special. I think it has a story to tell. Mira smiled. Maybe it's a gift, a reminder that even small things can shine. Sam nodded. Exactly. Just like you. They walked in silence, the stone's soft glow lighting their path. That night, Mira dreamed of stars and distant worlds. She saw herself flying through space, no longer small and afraid, but brave and free. The next morning, Mira felt ready to face anything. She knew that being small was not a weakness, it was a part of who she was. And with friends like Sam and Mira, she was never truly alone. At school, Mira stood a little taller. When others looked at her now, she saw respect in their eyes. Not because she had changed, but because she had learned to believe in herself. One afternoon, as she walked through the city, a group of young aliens approached her. They looked curious but friendly. "Can we talk?" one asked. Mira nodded, surprised but hopeful. "We've heard about your friendship with Sam," another said. "We want to understand. Maybe we can be friends too." Mira smiled brightly. "I would like that." For the first time, she felt like she belonged, not because she was big or strong, but because she was herself. Later that evening, Mira and Sam met at their favorite rooftop garden. The glowing plants lit the night, and the stars sparkled. Above, "Thank you for never giving up on me," Mira said softly. Sam took her hand. "Thank you for being brave enough to trust." They sat together, looking at the endless sky. Mira knew her journey was far from over, but she was no longer afraid. With a heart full of hope and friends by her side, Mira was ready to shine, no matter her size. The city felt different now. Mira could sense it every time she stepped outside. The eyes that once ignored or judged her now looked with curiosity, even respect. Whispers had not fully stopped, but many had softened. Some even turned into friendly greetings. She still walked the same paths, past the glowing street lights and busy market stalls. But something inside her had changed. She no longer tried to hide. She walked proudly, holding her head high. Mira had found her voice. One afternoon, Sam brought news. Serious news. "There's trouble," he said, his face tense. "A group of raiders is heading toward your home world. They've already attacked nearby planets." Mira's heart froze. "My people, they won't be ready. They always think strength is enough. But these raiders don't fight with honor." Sam nodded. "That's why we need to help. Not with size or weapons alone, but with something better." "What can we do?" Mira asked. "I have friends," Sam said. "Humans, like me. Engineers, peacekeepers, smart thinkers. They don't fight with muscle. They fight with plans and ideas. If we work together, we can stop this." Mira hesitated. Her people had never welcomed outsiders. Would they now, especially after she had been seen as different for so long? Still, she knew she had to try. That evening, Mira stood in front of the council hall, a tall building made of stone and light. Inside were the leaders of her people, strong, proud, and not easily convinced. Sam waited outside while Mira entered alone. The hall was cold and quiet. Tall figures looked down at her from their seats. One of them, an older warrior with silver markings on his skin, spoke first. "You return, little one. Why?" Mira took a deep breath. "Raiders are coming, strong ones. But strength alone won't stop them. We need help. I bring an offer, not just from me, but from the humans." The council murmured among themselves. "Why should we listen to a human?" Another elder said. "Or to you?" "Because I've seen what courage looks like," Mira replied. "It doesn't always come from big arms or loud voices. Sometimes it comes from a hand offered when everyone else turns away." There was silence. Then the elder with silver marks leaned forward. "You believe you can save us. I believe we can save each other," Mira said, her voice firm. Together, to everyone's surprise, the council agreed, not fully, not warmly, but enough to allow Sam and his team to prepare a defense within days. Human engineers and alien warriors stood side by side. They built energy shields, set traps, and studied the enemy's movement. Sam's friends brought drones and scanners. Mira shared her knowledge of the terrain. Together, they formed a plan, fast, clever, and unexpected. When the raiders came, they expected easy victory, but they found resistance that was smart, organized, and strong in ways they didn't expect. Mira stood on a hill, guiding a group of young fighters through narrow paths that only she knew. Sam, from the command station, gave updates and support. The battle was hard, but not hopeless. Using Mira's knowledge and Sam's strategy, they cut off the raiders' supply routes. Traps slowed them down. Surprise attacks scattered their ranks by sunrise. The raiders had retreated. Victory was theirs, and it had come not from brute force, but from unity. After the battle, Mira walked through the city of her people. Aliens who once turned their backs now came forward. One warrior bowed his head slightly, a sign of respect. "You were right," he said. "Size is not the only strength." Mira didn't smile for praise. She smiled because, for the first time, she felt seen. The council called her back. "You showed wisdom," the elder with silver marks said. "You brought help we would never have asked for. You stood strong when others doubted you." Mira nodded. "Not just me. Sam, too. Without him, I might still be hiding. And now," the elder asked, "now, I want to help others like me, small voices that have big hearts." The council agreed to her request. A new program would begin to support peace and cooperation between humans and Mira's people. Mira would lead it. Later that night, Mira and Sam returned to their favorite place, the rooftop garden under the stars. The plants glowed brighter than ever. "You were amazing," Sam said. "So were you," Mira replied. "We did it together." They sat in silence, watching the stars. The sky, once a place of dreams, was now a place they had touched together. "You still have that stone?" Sam asked. Mira pulled it from her pocket. It glowed softly. "It's always with me," she said. "It reminds me that even small things can shine." Sam smiled. "Just like you." Mira laughed gently. "No, not just me. Like us." Her journey was not over. Challenges would come again. But now Mira walked with pride, not because she had changed who she was, but because she had accepted it. The little alien who once walked alone now walked with others, and the stars, which once felt so far away, now felt like home. His city was quiet in the early morning light. Mira and Sam stood on the rooftop garden, their eyes on the horizon where the twin suns slowly rose. The battle was over. The raiders had fled, and peace had returned for now. Mira held the glowing stone in her hand. It reminded her of everything she had been through. The loneliness, the doubt, the fear, and now the hope. "Do you think this peace will last?" Sam asked quietly. Mira looked at him and smiled. "Peace is not something that just happens. It's something we build every day with every choice we make." Sam nodded. "I'm glad we're building it together." They had become more than friends. They had become a team and something stronger. They had faced challenges that no one expected, and in doing so, they had changed their world. Back in the council hall, Mira was now a leader among her people. The program she had started to connect humans and aliens had grown stronger. Together, they taught young warriors how to think as well as fight, how to listen as well as speak. Old fears and old ways were slowly melting away. One day, a young alien came to her with wide eyes. "Will I ever be like you? Brave and strong." "Even if I am small." Mira knelt down and smiled. "You don't have to be like me. You have your own strength, and that is what makes you powerful." She reached out her hand and gave the young one a small glowing stone, just like hers. "Carry this with you," she said. "Let it remind you that every light, no matter how small, can shine in the darkness." Sam stood beside Mira as she spoke to the crowd during a ceremony. Their peoples cheered, humans and aliens together. Mira's heart swelled with pride. She had once been the one who felt invisible, but now she was the one who helped others find their place. The city hummed with life and possibility. From here, the future was theirs to shape. Later, under the stars once more, Mira and Sam sat quietly. "Do you miss your home planet?" Sam asked. "Sometimes," Mira answered. "But I've found a new home here, with you, with my people, with everyone who believes that kindness and courage matter." Sam smiled. "Me too." They watched the stars blink above them, each one a promise of hope. The glowing stone in Mira's hand shone softly, a symbol of a journey that began small but grew into something great. And now, it was time for new adventures.